mute myself. I don't know where y'all are at because you're not here, but
Give him head.
anyway, we are going to do our quiz kind of thing. But Passover, I do need to know head count for those that want to go this Saturday. Let me know as soon as you can. We took a rough head count and I turned that in, but they want a more finalized one as soon as we can give that to them. It's $35. It starts right at 5:30. We can arrive as early as 5, but please don't be later than 5:30. So I'm going to be coming from Gooding because that's their family history conference and swinging by here so I can take people with me. But you're going to be coming from Malta and just going straight there. But anyway. Yeah.
So, what time would you be out here?
That's a good question. How long does it take to get to like Pocatello from Burley itself? It's like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that.
So,
Oh, I don't think it's that long, is it?
Yeah, directly from Burley, it's kind of just like an hour almost, isn't it? But I don't want to be late either.
So say 3:30-ish.
Uh-huh.
Be there by 5 or 3:45, something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, right around 3:30 we'll be leaving Burley.
Do you need cash or Venmo or what do you need?
So they said that you can bring cash or Venmo and just do it as we get there, kind of a
Be
thing.
there.
Mhm. I've asked them for the Venmo ahead of time, so I could just like pay it, but
We
they
could pay
haven't
you
said
and
it.
you could just
Uh-huh.
acknowledge.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, with that, let's go into lesson 14, do our little quiz here. And can turn off my video because nobody needs to see that. All right.
Shemesh,
Shemesh.
The sun.
Shemesh.
Shamayim,
Skies.
Shemaim. So Shemaim can also be heavens, but sky. Yeah. In like Genesis and stuff, it's really going to be heavens centric. But when we're talking about just a lot of our kind of quiz and things like that, sky would be more appropriate.
Yareach,
Me.
The
Yom,
moon. Yareach.
What did she?
Yom,
Yeah, the first one over here.
No. So what's the difference between Yom and Yom?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yom is-
Yom.
That was
Yom is,
Is day,
day.
and
and
Yom.
Yom is sea.
That's right.
What's day?
Yom,
Yom.
Yom, and Yam is sea.
sea. Okay.
Yep. So like on the screen right now, we have both Yom and Yam.
Yom.
So when they say, is it Yom Kippur
Kippur,
or
mhm.
Kippur? So it's Day
Day of Atonement.
Atonement.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yom.
Maybe I can remember day
Amen.
that way. Yom.
Oh, yeah.
When I was taking the sacrament today, I thought of the water is mayim
Mhm.
and bread is lemon.
Lechem.
Lechem. Okay. I've heard lechem in a song.
Oh, huh.
Something lechem. No. So, do you remember where do they?
Like a little kid song or
No,
the
it's a traditional.
yeah. Because it's in quite a few different things. We're talking about bread and
But
stuff.
it's common. It's
Like a bread of life is probably what it's going to be. I mean, that's a pretty common phrase in Lechem.
Well, I told you already. I watched this mini series of Winds of War and War and Remembrance. It was a long time ago, but I watched it on YouTube the other day. Well, it took me a few days because there's so many series in it, but it's about World War II, and it was talking a lot about the Jews in there and showing their stories. And man, I was picking up a lot of words that we already know.
Mhm.
in it. It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I know what he's saying.
especially in contexts like that when it's not just full Hebrew, but they're like speaking English but throwing in these
Bits
Hebrew
and
references and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's so fun to just like listen to it. Like I don't know, I put on like Netanyahu a lot of times, some of his press conferences and stuff, and I'm like, I can actually understand a bit of this. Yeah.
What was he saying?
Well, he was just
Get to Iran. No.
but he was talking a lot about the sky and the different missiles in the sky and all this kind of stuff and how they were deflecting those. But I mean, saying that a lot and Anashim, like our people and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was so
And
fun.
so, is it true that in the last battle, it's gonna be the church and Israel against the world? Or is that,
Kind of. Which one are we talking? Armageddon or Gog and Magog?
oh,
last
let's
battle.
say the last one before Christ.
Uh-huh.
Comes in the nursery and says, all right,
Oh yeah.
you know what? That's enough. So
Yeah,
Do you know?
I doubt it'll be like
that's.
our church kind of a thing, but it'll definitely be like the righteous that
Mhm.
are helping fight in that and stuff. But we know that in the last days, a lot of our church falls away, kind of a thing. And so I don't know how all that'll play out, but yeah, because the Antichrist is just like wreaking havoc. So the Antichrist spends a lot of time over here oppressing the United States, but then the United States finally overcomes him and he goes and terrorizes Israel. And that's when we go in to help.
To start with,
Will we
There's-
know who the Antichrist is?
Yeah, he's the first player that reveals himself.
Hmm.
but before he reveals himself, he persuades a lot of people his way, thinking he's great. Oh, this is
It's just like the devil. I mean,
Mhm.
this is.
Mhm.
and
this
it's
is
he's
Jesus
gonna take
versus-
a lot with him.
Lucifer. Yeah, it's just.
But
Sorry, I just looked at the screen. and went, how did we?
Yeah, right.
yeah, the people that are watching this, we better stick.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot, I apologize for all my chatter.
Hopefully, I never put too many opinions in or things, but anyway.
Pause when we talk. Like,
I'd forget to unpause all the time. Okay, so Yom and Yam, right?
Okay.
And then what's the difference between Yod and Yad?
Yeah.
Yod.
Yod
Yad is the
palm.
the alphabet.
That, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
Yad
Yeah.
and Yod is the letter Yod.
But yeah.
Yod.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a word that I looked it up and I couldn't, it wouldn't give me a definition.
Mhm. I find that all the time.
Rabim.
Rabim.
Okay, there was a herd.
Mhm.
Anyway, what's Rabim?
Rabim means kind of, it translates in a few different ways, but like our modern English would be like a bunch of.
Bunch. Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
But yeah, that's why it's not bringing it up because like bunch, like Google doesn't really.
Yeah.
Bunch of whatevers.
it's like-
But it's on one of these films, so.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
for sure.
Rabim.
Rabim. It is a very common Hebrew
Is
word.
it Israeli
Rabim.
or is it, cause she said if you're in Israel, you say this.
Yeah. So if you're in like modern Israel, you would say Rabim, Rabim. But in this one, she's pronouncing it with a trilled R. Rabim.
Anyway.
Yom,
So Yom.
Laila,
Right.
So that's one, two,
Okay,
one,
light.
2, 3, 4. Arba. No,
So 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
yeah.
5, 6.
6.
Light,
So-
and how's it said?
Lila.
Shesh, no.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just
So
like
is
the
it-
name Lila.
is
Lila, yeah.
Masculine or?
Which is
feminine?
actually a Hebrew name, Lila.
Is it masculine or feminine?
Lila? Feminine.
So would you have to say shesh if that number was?
Ooh, I don't know on that.
No.
You'd probably say Shesh, yeah.
Okay.
So light, is for this one here, this, you were talking.
Night.
Oh, night.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why
Lila's a
I,
pretty name.
Lila. Yeah. So when we say good night, Laila Tov. Laila
Laila
Tov. It's
okay,
a lot of Hebrew like nursery rhymes and stuff like that. Laila Tov, like good night moon kind of thing. Laila Tov. Al Yareach.
Yam.
it's the sea.
Yum.
Nahash.
It's snake.
Stop.
Nahash.
What is two?
Stein.
Stein? Stein. But sometimes they say Shanae.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
So when we're
that's,
in the construct form.
so you could
Uh-huh.
just say Stein.
Stein. Yep.
Stein. Oh,
Yeah. So we can break it apart. Shataim, if we're really trying to teach a word. Shataim is totally proper, but as you're counting, achat, shtaim, a lot of times you're just kind of closing that
Mhm.
gap there. Shtaim. Yep. Achat, shtaim, shalosh, arba, chamesh, shesh.
okay.
Nahash.
Isn't that so descriptive?
And have we learned like
She always
river
says it
and
like
stream and stuff yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
kind of confusing.
I think that's in
What
a,
is the water comes from or something is one of the names,
Mhm.
right? I
And
don't know
so-
who knows.
Nahar is that river, but it comes from Nahash because a river serpentines. So Nahash is kind of a root word.
Nahala
Nahal
is.
is the stream.
this- Okay.
A
and then
river.
Nahar
Stream is.
Nahar is the
is
river.
So we've got like the Snake River, so that we
Oh,
say, so we've got,
So Nahar, Nahash.
Uh-huh.
Nahar and-
So river and stream would be the same.
No. So river is Nahar, and then stream, or there's lots of different ways to put this, but the little one is Nahal.
Creek.
It ends with a lamed. Nahal. And the stress is different. So river, the stress is on the second syllable. Nahar, Nahar, but on Nahal, the stress is on the first syllable. Nahal. So there's two different ways to distinguish the one versus the other, but it's in a future lesson, but just kind of knowing that Nahash is kind of this root word that we're going to be using a lot in different ways. Likewise, the brazen serpent that Moses lifts
Oh,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Does anyone remember the name of it?
No, did they say it?
Yeah, it's mentioned twice in the scriptures. By
I'm
name.
thinking the Ten Commandments.
Oh yeah, they say it in there. It's called the Nehushtan.
Ooh.
The Nehushtan.
Mm.
It comes from Nahash. It's the brazen serpent. Nehushtan means brazen serpent. Anyway, Nahash.
Maim.
Mime. So these images are kind of crazy. I mean, a lot of them have water in them, but this one that's pointing to the water in his hand, mime.
Dagat Hayam.
Oh,
it's
he's
Arba, yeah, Arba.
Arba. The gat, so dag, the gat, hayam.
Hi.
Ha.
Yeah.
The fish is
Yeah.
what?
So it can be dag or daga. So masculine, feminine, kind of like we have with camels. So
Dog?
dag, daga. Masculine, feminine. Dag, daga. And so we're saying the fish of the sea. And so it's a construct form because we're saying that the fish are of something. So daga, dagat. So we're putting that T at the end. Dagat, yam.
So the God, is that masculine?
Feminine.
Well, that's the feminine one.
Yep. So dog,
Dog is masculine.
dog is masculine.
Both, though, like
Like a
camel.
kill.
Camel.
Kind of. This one is strictly feminine for that version. So dog, we could say dagim for the masculine plural, but we default to the feminine for the fish for some reason. But if you're just talking about a single fish, it can be masculine, feminine, just kind of depends, whatever you want to do. So dog, daga is the masculine, feminine, and we're taking that singular feminine and putting it into the construct form. So the same as like para, right? Para, parat Yosef. So daga, dagat hayam. Yep,
كلب
kelev. Kelev is dog, and dog is fish.
I know, it's crazy.
And Lila is,
And
is,
she is.
yep, he is, she, and she is, he.
That's probably the
Who
worst
is
one
he?
like.
He is she.
So dog is
Then it's
Caleb.
he.
Kelev,
Caleb.
that's masculine. Kelev. A feminine dog is kalba. Kalba.
I have it.
That's wow.
Kal-
It's in colors.
Kelev.
I am.
That's what I'm looking-
بني هማيم
That's a really sad looking dog.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that one.
Panay Hamaim.
True. Oh, wait,
Uh-huh.
two. Uh-huh.
Ahat. Panay, what does Panay mean?
Face.
Lips.
Face.
It's face.
Oh, face.
So panim,
Honey.
and then construct form, all eams turn to an A. Panay Hamaim. So what would mouth be? What is mouth just regular without a? Pay,
Or the lip is, chef,
safa.
Safa.
Mhm. So, the actual mouth is pay, right? And then in the construct form, it's P. So
That's
P ish or P Avram, the construct form of it. So yeah, it's very confusing, the mouth versus the face for some reason. I
So
don't know.
this would be the face.
The face of the water.
Because it's half up.
Yep. Yeah, she's trying to point right at the face, the surface of the water. hmm
So if you were in the water,
It'd be ba, like ba shamaim or ba maim. But yeah.
Surface.
So in the video, as she's doing the review or whatever, there's actually a man floating back here
oh, yes.
or whatever, and Haish al Panei Hamaim, the man on the face of the water. And so as we look in Genesis, this lesson is preparing us to read the creation story.
Yeah, I was just.
So
gonna
when
say,
his spirit broods upon the face of the water,
Uh-huh.
this is the actual phrase,
That's right.
al Panei Hamaim.
صفات هيام
Sat
I
Yam
know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Arba.
Arba. So Safat, the lip of the sea. Safat Hayam. So Safa, singular, but in the construct, we put that T at the end. Safat Hayam. So the lip of the,
So how do
See.
you know if you call it the lip or the face? You just know.
so the lip is going to be the beach,
like the
and then
edge.
Panay is the surface. So it could be.
Surface,
Mhm.
like surface.
Mhm. Yep.
And
Okay, so
Yeah, that's a really great way to surface.
So like
like
the
that.
shore, the edge.
The shore, the edge, the lip. And we will have it of the river in the next lesson. So the lip of the river, the lip of the sea. Anytime that we have water meeting land, they call it a lip.
which is
Interesting.
curious.
And it's always going to be in the construct because you're talking about the lip of something. So when we have some of the Aramaic kind of stuff of when Christ goes to John to be baptized and they're on the banks of the river, it's going to be that Safat kind of thing.
عنان
On none
Yeah,
clouds.
It wasn't sounding right.
so how is cloud? You never get that.
Yeah. None. On none. On none. So these are Catholic
She
clouds.
said
There's nuns.
That's how I think of it, nuns.
So yeah, it's
Oh,
it kind of sounds nun, but it's actually spelled anon.
Say it in,
No.
say, put her.
Anan.
None.
Yeah, she
kinda
kind of does the
Ah.
at for the vowel instead of the ah.
Um,
Anon. Anon. It's a kamatz is the vowel that we're looking at.
Mm.
But anyway. So the first ah is this. Ah. And then there's a noon, and under the noon is this. Anon. And clouds, yeah. So on none.
Of Hashamayim.
Off is birds. Ha
isn't there another
Shamayim.
one for bird?
Yeah,
What
there,
is it?
it doesn't come up for quite a few lessons. I forget
Okay,
what it
but-
is.
Yes.
Birds is
Yeah.
off.
Off,
Oh,
off. So it's again an ayin, and so it's this like weird guttural off. You don't crack your voice.
How do you spell bird?
Off. Oy, I don't know. I just know it starts with the ayin. Is why it's so weird.
Oh.
Off. Off.
oh,
I'm pretty sure it's just ayin and pei.
Okay.
Off. Or fei, I guess. Off. Off
I
Hashamayim.
wish this book, this had, it wrote the
Yeah,
Hebrew, but it doesn't, it just has the.
the English
Yeah.
version of it. Right. Did you get this far?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And
I am
sometimes it
listening.
won't let you push that, so you have to read it.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that because I'm always just reading it by default.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't let me push it, and I was like, oh, I have to read it.
Before we go on, how do you say moon?
Yareach. So yar, a, ah, and you really do that breath at the end. Yareach, yareach, which is so interesting. Yareach. It's so sexy. I don't know.
It should be a.
Well, you know, the
It's a
Then
very
why-
reverent
yes.
thing in the Hebrew.
That's sexy.
We so like the Hebrew calendar is a lunar solar calendar, right? Like certain things are calculated off the sun, certain things are calculated off the moon. But anyway, the moon is very reverenced in Judaism. So yada, yada. It's meant to be a whisper. It's a very feminine yada,
Is it feminine?
mhm, yada, yada. Yeah, so the sun masculine, yada, yada, is feminine.
That's interesting. I'm gonna study that out. Why,
Oh yeah.
you know?
All right.
There's always gotta be a
So
reason.
what is this picture?
She was.
Dripping water.
Yeah,
out.
water.
Mhm.
It
And
was
so-
full.
God.
Yeah,
It was
so
full, right?
there exists in the cod water.
Okay, so the first word is.
No. Just go
Ein,
by that.
ein, maim, bakad.
And this.
Yesh, maim, bakad. Ein, maim, bakad. Yesh, maim, bakad.
Ish.
Yesh. Yeah, so this one, she actually has water dripping, right?
It's hard to see.
Yesh, maim, bakad. So ein would be the absence or the non-existence of something. Yesh is the
It's easy because ayin is ain't and yesh is yes.
uh-huh, yeah.
There ain't no water.
Yeah. So this one, yesh maim bakad, ein maim bakad, ein maim bakad. Yesh bakos maim, ein bakos maim,
Yes.
yesh bakos maim. Yesh bakos maim, ein bakos maim, ein bakos maim.
This is weird.
You think you guys can read stuff? Should we sight read those?
Yes, let's do.
Okay, so what's this word? Yesh. Ba sa de basade ish sha
Isha.
The
Or should be Isha.
the woman is in the field.
yesh basade isha. Yesh, there exists a woman in the field. Yesh yareach, which is
What's-
interesting. That's an exception there. Ba shamayim. Yesh yareach bashamem.
The moon is.
Ba,
What is it saying?
so ba in
Sky.
shamayim. Mhm,
The moon is in the sky,
mhm.
so that is definitely.
Not it. Yesh basade isha. So what's the difference between this and this letter?
See, that's a scene.
Sin and
That's a
sheen. Mhm. So basade and isha. Yep.
Do you think we'll ever get to the point where we can just read fast?
It comes, it gets there. You'd be surprised. I get surprised every time that I'm like reading Torah and stuff, and I'm like, this is coming quicker and quicker. Okay. Ein par basade. Ein par basade.
No cow in the
Yeah.
field, and there's
Mhm.
none.
Ein nara lifnei habait. Ein nara lifnei habait.
The
Ein
girl is
par
not
basade.
in front of.
Lifnei, And so you'll know it from the different images and stuff, but this one's talking about the sade. So ein par basade.
So far. Oh, yeah.
Yesh shemesh v anan bashamayim.
Okay, what's the,
V and
the?
anan
Oh, cloud.
Oh,
anan.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yesh shemesh v anan bashamayim. Yesh yareach bashamayim.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yesh yareach
Well,
bashamayim.
we haven't had this letter yet, so what is that?
That
Which one? This
The
one?
one that looks like a Y.
Oh,
That I.
Ein. Ein
Oh,
acts
I
a
thought
lot
we
like
had
Aleph, except it does have a glottal stop in the back of your throat. So it's not just silent, but it's so is goat, is. You have that glottal stop in the back, but this is the letter that produces that
What is that
glottal.
letter called?
Ayin.
Ayin.
Ayin. Ayin produces that. Yesh bayad Avram Nahash.
That's not bad.
Yesh
Avram with the snake.
Shemesh v'anan b'shamayim.
The sun is in the
Yesh Shemesh v'anan b'shamayim.
Here's the girl.
Ein nara lifnei habayit. It'll be that one.
Definitely not.
Ein ba batim, ein batim, ba midbar, bamidbar, ein batim, bamidbar. So what does that say?
Let's say there's no,
Batim,
house in the.
plural houses in the desert, in the wilderness.
Okay.
And then this one is, there is not a girl in front of the house.
So they use, the same sentence in different pictures.
Mhm.
Because, like this one.
Yep, so this is gonna be that desert one, right? So that second, ein batim bamidbar, ein bakos maim, ein bakos maim.
And here's Abraham's after.
Yesh b'yad Avram Nahash. Yesh basade isha. It's not fun. You're starting to be able to read those things.
Remember when we just had the one thing, we were like, what is that? Like the, the
Oh, uh-huh.
aleph, and we're like,
Yep, yep. All right, so how are you feeling with things?
I'll
Uh,
work on this one this
The
week.
the 14 is a rough one.
Oh,
What is 15?
Is that the one with the fair?
Davar.
Oh, no.
15 is actually
I know.
pretty easy,
Yeah.
but is it 16? There's one that's coming up. 16 or 17?
17.
17. Okay, so we have a couple weeks. 17 is
What is
the
it?
tricky.
What is it? What's the concept?
I have to refresh myself, but our other group was. Is it 17? 17, because the alphabet's number.
Ein li karnaim.
Is it Lee? Yeah, it's 17. So we've got possession.
Oh, but isn't that construct? Isn't that?
No, there's
possession?
two different things. So there's construct and then there's possession. So yeah,
But I thought that was.
yeah.
construct.
It's
So what's the difference?
That's why it's confusing.
Between construct. and
so
possession?
construct is if you are, if kind of like that apostrophe S kind of thing in English. But
And-
this one is like me, mine, that's mine kind of a thing. So we're learning all of those words. So that's yours, mine, ours kind of thing versus the other. It's basically the construct form is just of somebody or the apostrophe S.
So where do we put the adjective, like I love God or something like that?
Uh-huh.
So what?
So like love I have for God kind of thing would be,
Well, I don't know. But where do you put the descriptive, like the adjectives? Where do you put-
usually after the noun.
After,
Mhm.
so not before.
Typically.
Pretty girl,
I have
girl
seen
pretty.
some, yeah. Almost always. There are a couple exceptions that I've seen, but nobody can really explain them to me really well, why you would put the one before, but
Okay.
if there is an exception, I think that it comes from, it's kind of like par ehad, like anytime that you're talking about a single thing, you reverse the thing like you do in Spanish. I think that that's why sometimes you put an adjective in front, but I haven't really figured that out yet.
So what does this little bar, because she's starting to use that, what does that little bar right there mean?
Yeah,
Hyphen?
it is kind of the equivalent of an English hyphen, but it's often with possessives in construct form. You're gonna see those a lot in those things. So
'Cause
like
in 13,
Ben
there's
Hur.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Mhm, yeah. So anytime somebody's directly connected and you don't want to lose that connection in the sentence or whatever,
So
you connect them.
a hyphen,
Yep, yeah, it's basically a hyphen.
but not.
So like this one, for example, right here. So ein li garnaim. So there's not horns on this woman. So ein li, so she does not. She does not. And so we're wanting to make sure who does not? She does not. So we're tying those two together and we're putting that hyphen.
Lee.
Li is her. So we've got li and lo and lach and lachem. Yeah, we're gonna learn those possessives there in 17. It's a little tricky, but
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, so 14 it's going good because that one, it's a really long video. 14, and it's just like, whoa. I remember the first time I hit that, I was like, it wasn't you that after you watch that. And they go shalom at the end. Shalom.
I don't know, I don't remember, but sounds like me.
Yeah. It's a really long one. So, I don't know why they, is it because isn't that one where we have Egypt? Don't we learn Egypt in 14?
It
Does that
might
sound
be
familiar?
15. What is
How do you
15?
say Egypt again?
Mitzrayim.
Mitzrayim. It could be.
Let me just, oh, there's that. Okay.
And she's talking
Yam
about-
Suf,
Yeah,
This doesn't look familiar though, right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
it does.
okay.
15.
Yeah, 15. Okay. I was thinking that Mitzrayim stuff was in 14, so never mind.
Yeah, that was in our online class, that one.
Yeah, sometimes I get confused which one's where we're at. But yeah, I think you guys are doing excellent with
Maybe you should.
the
just
actual letters and stuff.
Scrunch us into one. Is that what?
I would
you're
love
trying
to,
to
but
do?
I don't know, we just kind of go at different paces and stuff.
Mm.
So something to talk about on calendar wise, before I forget, is that we've got Mother's Day on the 12th that we won't be meeting unless you want to. I mean, I don't.
The
unless
Family
you're so-
Search Center's closed, but he has keys, we could,
Mhm.
but
And then Memorial Day is,
Big thing on Mother's Day, and my family's around.
yeah, none of us really do.
I
So
don't
we might as
know,
well.
but Yeah, we.
if you
could,
wanna.
But if we should honor you,
Yes.
why?
because you're mom.
Oh,
So would you have kids coming and see you on Mother's Day?
Well, I wouldn't, so.
Yeah, so, okay, let's just plan on meeting Mother's Day. Again, if you, yeah, there's no pressure. If people want to be gone, we can, but it'll be a good practice day.
not
I
that
don't-
counts for that.
Some people do, but I.
Yeah,
I have a grandson graduating on the 20th in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
oh yeah, so you're gonna
A
be,
grandson graduating from Twin Falls High School on the 21st.
oh my
And a
goodness,
grandson graduating from Mesa, Arizona on the 23rd.
how are you
My
doing it?
word.
Well, luckily.
This one
he's-
zoomed?
No, his is in the morning.
Uh-huh,
So we can drive and be in Rio Rancho is right by Albuquerque, be there for his morning. As soon as he's done, we will drive home for the one in Twin because he's valedictorian of
Yeah.
Canyon Ridge. And then we'll get up Wednesday morning and head to Mesa because his will be in the evening.
my gosh, that's, you're not gonna get any Hebrew in that week.
No,
Or maybe you'll have a tons of Hebrew on your trip.
maybe I will, maybe I'll just go, I can just sit and you can listen to me. So yeah, that, and then
Oh,
I'll, yeah, so
gosh.
I won't be here on.
I'm so glad all the grandkids are done. All of hers are gone and graduated and stuff because man, graduation week can be a crazy one.
I was just glad.
I've never seen a big schedule like that
Well,
though.
I feel blessed because I'm thinking, who do you decide to go to, and who don't you go to?
Yeah, exactly.
It's too bad the twin one wasn't
Yeah, just,
before or after, so you could stay kind of.
Oh, I agree. So I, cause it's only
Uh-huh.
7 hours from Mesa to Albuquerque.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, back here for another 14 and 12 and
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I don't.
So I won't be here, I know, on the 20th, on Memorial Day,
Mhm.
so.
And then why did I
Seafood or
cancel
not?
next week? Oh, next week is temple workers devotional
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is?
Wait a minute.
I hadn't heard that.
and state
I
conference.
I thought it said the 30th. Which is
No, it's on
not
a
good,
Sunday.
because then we have the meal. Oh, good, I'm glad it's at the 28th.
Yeah, it's on a Sunday.
Oh, good, yeah. it
So were
usually
they
is
having it this year?
at
Just
the
right there
State
at
Center.
the Temple
Okay.
Stake Center. Yeah,
So
that
we
one.
won't meet next week then.
Yeah, we won't meet next week, but we
Okay.
will on Cinco de Mayo, and let's plan on meeting on Mother's Day. It'll be fine. If you can't, and then there, but then we definitely will be closed for
Yeah,
the
because I
26th.
won't be here on the 19th either, because I'll be in travel,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna miss a bunch, but that's okay.
So Memorial Day.
I
we
think
will-
a lot of us will be kind of hit and miss on
Yeah.
different things.
It's so much better.
So we won't go too fast with our lessons.
Yeah.
So this week, let's do 14 and 15. So kind of like a
Okay.
revisit of 14 and then 15. But don't like if 15 is too much, don't worry about it. Mhm.
What
But yeah,
did we
14 and 15.
decide 15 was? I can't keep them straight.
I know, I used to be able to. I can't anymore. 15 as I pull up the geography.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's where
Well,
those things come in that you.
So like
that you-
river and stream and the
is-
Egypt and Israel and all of the different seas and stuff like that. And so the geography is really fun. It's not
I
too
liked it. I liked
So what is,
hard.
I know in the one they show a map, like that
Mhm.
map we got. How do you say map or land?
Uh-huh. So singular land, so like the land of Israel kind of thing. Land is Eretz, Eretz.
It is.
And then when we're talking lands, plural, Aratzot. Aratzot. So you're taking that Eretz and changing the first vowel from E to A. Aratzot. Ot for
Because
plural.
That's what they were saying, is that one there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Aratzot. And pretty soon we'll start throwing in the Rabim, right? So Aratzot Rabot. But yeah, and I've heard lots of people just call a map Aratzot.
Really, just the
And
map?
just-
Yeah, I mean, there is a word for map, but a lot of people just default to Aratzot. So this is lands. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
especially in a biblical context. I mean, we didn't really have maps in the Bible. I mean, at least mentioned.
Yeah. they would
Mm.
just land
Mm-hmm.
or wilderness.
Yeah. What else would you like to just kind of work on here at the end? We could do letters and alphabet kind of stuff. We can work with our animals and do some of that. Do you want to review anything? Greetings.
So what was it? This, I'm gonna pull this up. This is called,
Ain.
Ayin.
Ain. Yep, and it does that glottal stop in the back. So on none is
Cause they haven't showed that yet in any of the films.
yeah.
So-
How many? I think we have two more alphabets to go, right? What was the last
Last
alphabet?
one was Noon,
Yeah.
Shofit, and Lamed.
Uh-huh.
We haven't had Samic yet, have we?
Yeah,
Did we?
we would have had
And I
comic
don't know
now.
what I was. most
But yeah, so you
about,
had like
We
noon,
had Shofit.
But
but you haven't done Reish.
Yeah, we had Ray.
Oh, you had Reish?
We had Ray.
Sade,
Valley. We haven't had that.
Sade, Kuf.
And
No.
and Pay and Faith, have we had that?
No.
Yeah, Pei and Fei wouldn't. Pei, Fei, Shin, Sing, Tav. Yeah. You haven't seen like
No,
Pei, Fu.
no. Mhm.
So I think we might just have one more alphabet video. And that's 19 is the final alphabet
And they'll
video.
show all the rest of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so let's do just a quick little thing on alphabet. I still want to share my screen so it gets recorded. Sorry. Let's go to
I love when, puts the battle, say it again,
Faro.
battle hat on.
He even had
When he
fake
sings,
eyelashes.
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
It looked like it was.
And
Get out there.
The coal, around his eyes, and then when he sings the.
He's kind of a
that
good
song,
sidekick
yeah,
for
he
her.
is.
Actually, I don't want to do the video.
But he's smart, you can tell he knows.
It's too cute.
I forget which one it was, that he's eating those grapes.
Oh, yeah, and then
And
she
he's
laughs.
trying to
Oh,
go
yes.
like this, and
She
she
laughs.
turns and
Yes.
that was funny.
I love that they kind of keep that stuff in.
That's what they
Whoops.
were talking about, good and bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Hebrew printables. Why am I not able to find? Oh, there it is. All the charts. Alphabet. It's confusing. Let's go with
Yeah, all the different ways you can write them.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different writing. Like that one on the breastplate. At the thing we went to, I could not read that stuff at all.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
Yeah, that's-
All right, so coming down like this, right?
Is this all of them right here?
These are all the
Okay.
consonants. So yeah, we've got Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel. We haven't had Gimel yet? Oh,
No,
really?
no,
Well, we
Surprised
have-
that there's
no. we
saving that
haven't
for
had
end.
them.
Gimel, Dalet,
Dalet, yes.
Hey,
Hey,
Vav, Zayin,
no,
Het.
No,
I can see why they would save that one. Tet,
no.
Yod,
Yes,
Chaf,
no,
Kaf,
no,
Lamed,
yes.
Mem.
Yeah.
Leah starts with Lamed. I
Lamed.
don't know what I
Yes.
was smoking last time.
Whatever, it's good.
No.
Mem, Nun, Samech,
No,
Ayin,
no,
Pe,
No.
Fe,
no,
Tzadi,
no.
Kuf,
Mm,
Resh,
Yes.
Shin,
Yes.
Sin,
yes.
Tav. Interesting.
So
Okay, so there's
quite a
two
few.
videos then that you. I forget when the other one is. I know the one is 19. It's the final alphabet video. So the other one's got to be 17, I would
Do you-
guess.
do you
16 or
know-
17.
Why they have a tit and a top? I mean, is there a significance?
Yeah. So tet is usually going to be in the middle of a word. Tav is almost always at the end or the beginning of a word. Just kind of like
Really?
samech. Samech and sin, right? Same sound, but you have different
So
locations.
all
Well,
of this,
uh-huh.
like,
Yeah. Yep. You have s and s. Do I have? Let me pull up my similar sounds one. So these are all of the similar sounds. We have vet and vav.
yeah,
We have chaf and chet that are both. We have tet and tav that are t. We have aleph and ayin. They are different though, but they're both kind of considered silent. Ayin has the glottal stop. Kuf, kaf, both k, k, and then sin and samech.
hmm,
Yep. These are the ones that have final forms that you've kind of seen before. So
what is-
all of
what-
them.
Fine, what does that mean? Final
So
form?
if they occur at the end of a word, a
Oh.
mem,
Oh, the
boxes
one
up.
below it. I see what you're saying.
they all drop their tail except for mem. Mem doesn't have a tail. It just
Oh, okay.
Boxes up.
Like,
Okay,
don't we, oh yeah, I see it on the, I was gonna say, don't we call these Sophie?
So feet means final. So yeah, when they occur at the end of a word, these ones turn into these ones.
Hmm.
But as we do get into all of the different things, so this is the alphabet, but in ballpoint pen, so like not a calligraphy kind of thing.
She writes
This is
so
how you would-
fast.
yeah, I know she
Yeah,
does.
when
She's like,
she's writing, is she doing this? Is it
And
more the
she's not,
stick?
and it's not really
Ballpoint, yeah.
square, she puts a little curve in it. but
Uh-huh,
It's not, you know,
She's-
not
Yeah.
even three angles, she curves it just a little bit.
uh-huh. I like doing it very boxy to start off with,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of throw in some curves if you'd
Mhm.
like to, but I mean, sometimes you can get, if you throw in curves too fast, it gets kind of weird.
Okay, so ma'am, I was looking, so it's like a teepee with a
Mhm.
chimney going out.
Yep, and then mem sulfite, it turns from a triangle into a square.
Square. Yeah. We get a copy of that, or could I get a copy of that sometime?
Yeah, for sure.
It's on your.
It's on the Learning Zion, but it's not on the
Oh.
classroom. But yeah, I'll put these on the classroom so that you can have
Print it,
access to them.
Just 'cause I've been trying to do my flashcards and writing words and that, so that would be good.
Yeah, very helpful.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the vowel chart? That's not the vowel chart, just a second, where's the?
And the vowel lengths, wow. That's taken it to a whole new.
Where is my full vowel chart? Yeah, here's the full vowel chart. So we'll eventually learn all those. They all have different ways and sounds and different things, but
And to
Not
be
quite.
able to hear it. Ooh.
yeah, the phonemic awareness of the vowels is so crazy, but you get there.
Because that one, I think's on our circus one, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, she put all those benches in there together.
Hmm. So that one with the dot beside it is more of a U sound.
This one?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, ooh.
So this one in the vowel circus, she puts it as food. All right.
Mm.
She's got food in the belly, ooh.
Mhm.
But she also says that this one is ooh.
Yeah.
But this takes on some different nuances. So there's the ooh. So food, ooh. This is what she's lumping it into.
Mhm.
But there's also an under, This is typically what I'm hearing Beth say is this for that. But there is some versions when ooh is similar, but typically this is a. So yeah, you have lots of different Jewish people that are pronouncing it different ways. I like Sarah's approach and stuff, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I think that there's a little bit benefit of breaking some of these out.
Right. Hmm, okay.
Especially with like the yod, the historically long ones. So E versus E kind of thing. And some people break it out, some people don't. But I find that there's benefit in keeping that.
It shows both ways that they're the same,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
or pronounced the same.
yeah. Kind of gets a little confusing. But anyway, yeah, as we do get to that.
When they're viewing the video, they can't see that, can they? Or is that part of the?
Mhm.
That's
I think I've
cool.
got the whole screen shared, maybe not.
Well, that's good. Just like when we're watching on Zoom, huh?
Mhm.
So do you guys study together a lot when you're going through it? You study together?
Sometimes like when we're coming to. On Sundays, we have the ride and we go over stuff
Okay.
and sometimes. At night, if I ask him a question, we get into a few things, but not.
The
a
important
reg-
thing is consistency. You gotta study Hebrew every night, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. But yeah, I try to ask some different Hebrew questions. Doesn't always work out.
When I try to read in the morning, right after I finish my Come Follow Me, then
Mhm.
I'm right there with my stuff and I try to.
My dad
it
used to
then.
say, ask me in the morning when my mind is fresh. And I'd say, oh, Dad. And now I get it.
You get it now?
So the morning is